Well, we didn't talk about Dillon Dube's contract, but that's
thank you. I did. Dillon Dube did sign his contract. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Thank you. And I was like, man, I knew I forgot something. Dillon Dube did sign his contract with the Flames this week. Dube's in a very interesting situation, and this is where, going back to the Sutter situation, where I think there's a bit of I do see this is the Sutter Treliving tension that I see. I think Treliving and the Flames brass was higher on Dube than I think what Sutter saw. So I think he has a bit of pressure coming into camp. But also on the other end of this, let's say, Devin, as an example, the Montreal Canadiens are acquiring Sean Monahan. Dillon Dube, I think that there's some in the Flames organization that want to see Dillon Dube. I know that Darryl Sutter wanted to try Dillon Dube at center near the end of the last year. He might be a guy that they look at putting at center this year at some point.
Potentially, yeah. I think that's a tall order to ask for a guy who really has been a prominent winger throughout his entire career. Just to clarify, it was 3 years at 2.3 for Dube's contract. And so he has 3 years with potentially Darryl Sutter. But I mean, I don't think that the tension between player like Dube or Valimaki really is something to be concerned about within the grand scheme of things. Darryl Sutter has always been a veteran guy, and if you're not coming out, if you're not working your ass off every shift, or you're taking some shifts off, then he'll let you know, and then you'll be benched. And I think it's good for these young guys to have that line to kind of draw into their own play with Darryl Sutter and what he's wanting out of his players. So I'm not overly concerned with the tension between either Dube or Valimaki and Darryl Sutter, because I think Sutter is a demanding coach, but he's fair. And if you're going to be putting in the effort, you'll be rewarded. But Dube at center, I'm not overly. I don't think that'll be the case here. You might see it, and if he, say for instance, if who he's playing with, that center gets kicked out, then he might come in and take that face off. But yeah, I'm not. I don't think he'll be a staple down the middle here.
So you've got, okay, if Monahan goes, let's say it's Monahan for a first, just right at this point.
Sure.
Your centers, Lindholm, Backlund, Godin, Phrase.
Yeah. Don't forget about Adam Ruzicka as well. He might be within that mix because he has at the end of last year he was very highly touted to potentially push for a job next year, and he's a big body, very much a Darryl Sutter type. He's younger and has a lot to prove. He's 6'4", 209 pounds, according to Cap Friendly right now. He probably put on a bit more weight in this offseason. And I think that he would be one to watch within this training camp to see where he stands, along with Glenn Godden, because Godden, he just got a 1-year deal, two-way, $750, I believe. He's been kind of back and forth. He's done decently well at the AHL level. I know Heidi and I both at the beginning, or even 2 years ago, really wanted to see him more at the NHL caliber ranks. But you do have two good prospects right there with Glenn Godden and Ruzicka to potentially push for a job here, because we know that Backlund, he can play second line center, and then you have fourth line center. I'm not overly concerned about who will play or who can play, especially within the Darryl Sutter kind of regime that he has, because you do have Brett Ritchie that could play center. You have Tyler Pitlick that could play center. Trevor Lewis potentially could jump in there and get the job done pretty much. And overall, if Sean Monahan does go, I don't think that you got to have someone coming back the other way, which I don't think will be a center for center deal for Sean Monahan. But I don't think he is done within that, because there still are a bunch of other players that have not signed yet, such as David Backus, Brandon Dubinsky, Travis Zajac, Franz Nielsen, who are RFAs right now that could be coming in as well for a PTO or signed for league minimum like Corey Perry was last year.